The passport bros, the niggas that you prey on dumb, ill-equipped women to make you your wife, bro, you a weak ass nigga.
Let me say
bro.
this, right? Let me throw
And this
this.
come from a nigga that they owe women.
No, let me throw devil's advocate, right? I feel you on getting an American woman, especially
No,
if you.
it's not that. She don't have to be American. I don't want that to be the thing. You're praying. You're going. Oh,
No.
you didn't. Hold on. It's not like he's saying, "I'm gonna go to Italy. I'm gonna go to France. I'm gonna go to one of these established countries." You're going to a third world country to find a woman that can't tell you what's 2 + 2, and you're gonna bring her back here and treat her like shit for the rest of your life because it's your concubine. You want to treat her like a concubine because you never had no power nowhere else. So now you're gonna exert your power over this woman.
I would agree with everything. The reason I don't want that narrative to flourish, because in the 90s, when you were young, and SO knows, you weren't alive yet, Ghost, the #1 movie was How Stella Got Her Groove Back.
Ghost was alive, they the same thing.
And it's the same shit. Oh, I can't do it. I need to.
Yo, let him talk. Let him cook.
Yeah.
Let him cook. I ain't got
You not
nothing to
dead ass?
say.
You dead ass?
I'm deadass.com.
Oh my God.
Oh, I can't. The men ain't treating me right in America. She went to Jamaica, another.
Jamaica a third world country?
Yes.
Would you live there?
Yes.
Jamaica? I'm asking you. I'm
Yes.
asking.
Yo, bro.
Yes.
Okay.
There's parts of
Montego
the
Bay is third world like a
What are you
motherfucker.
talking about?
Montego Bay is third world?
You damn right.
I be having a good time.
DR is the same shit.
There's no way you're gonna justify high-earning women going to Jamaica.
How you know they was high earning? Some of them bitches are CPNs.
No. That's high earning. So
A
let's.
CNA is a high earning job?
Yes.
All right, man.
What
All right, man. All right, man.
And they let these dudes put a plastic bag on their pipe and smash. Ain't no different than a man going to a third world country and getting a chick that don't speak no English. That's the same equivalency of debauchery.
It's bullshit, right? So if you look at the numbers thing, there's not the number of women doing that is way less than the niggas that are going over to poor, impoverished countries, snatching a woman away and destroying the rest of her life. A woman going down
While they destroying her life, maybe they take her to a better life. But go ahead, finish your
How do
story.
you destroy a chick that has to
Has
wait 9
nothing.
hours for
But go
her
ahead.
electricity to
But
come
go-
on?
But go ahead, Mouse.
I
But
don't
go
know.
ahead,
You
man.
could take away her rights. You can beat on her. You can tell her she has no sexual agency. You can treat her like literal shit. I think she would go back to her country.
But why do we have to do it like that? Maybe I just want to take a good
that's not
woman
what they-
and treat her good.
So why you couldn't do that here? Why you specifically
Because
went
these
over there?
bitches
The
out here
same
wanna
reason
be
Stella went to
niggas.
get her back blown
These
out by
bitches-
Jamaicans.
These bitches.
She didn't go there for that, I don't think.
I don't see any issue with a guy making a decision to utilize his rights that other races of men have been using for years to find love. Now, I would never promote womanizing, whether it's here or abroad. I just would never personally promote that. But if you think about the whole mail order bride environment from years ago, and I'm talking from someone who worked in an industry and housing where I've signed several leases for guys who are in the military who are saying, hey, I need to add my new wife to the lease. She's coming in from the Philippines. She's coming in from Thailand. I've done these leases for these gentlemen. None of these men were black who I'm signing these leases for. It was never a problem. It was never an issue. They were never shamed for it. They were seen as being adventurous. They were even seen as being romantic. And then pandemic comes, and then this new term passport bro comes out, and the black man starts to utilize his same right that every other race of men has, and now all of a sudden it's a problem. So it just makes me wonder, like, why is that? Why is it a problem when we do it? Or is it a problem when we do it? When really all the passport bro has done is cut out the middleman, the agency that provides the woman, and just goes to the country to get the woman. So just for the mere fact that I'm a strong believer that I'm pro men and pro fairness, and if everyone else can do it, we should have that same right. I personally have no issue with the Western woman. It can be complex, but I don't have an issue with it. But if a man wants to utilize his rights to go get a woman abroad, and not all of these women abroad are in destitute, all due respect. Some of these women are educated. Some of these women know multiple languages. So not everyone that they are going to see abroad are women who are like, let's say, are seen as low class. So bottom line, other races of men have done it for decades. Now more and more brothers are trying to do it. If that's what they want to do, they should have the same liberties and freedoms that every other men have with no shame.
I'm what it is, man. If go to wherever you want to, date whoever you want to. Life is hard enough as it is without being forced to deal with people you don't want to deal with. I don't know too much about the passport bros. I don't travel a lot, so I don't know what their experience is. I have had a few conversations, public conversations about the topic before and heard different perspectives. The only thing that I've heard from the people that I've spoken to that purport to be passport bros, it's not so much that they go to other countries and find the women that they like. It's that they shit on black women in order to express their perspective. So date who you want to date, but if you don't fuck with black women, then okay, cool, don't fuck with them.
Yeah, I think the guy in the video sound like a hoe. Oh my God, I think he think like a woman. In and out, I can tell like he think like a woman. Because like why?
Every stylish guy knows what takes an outfit from good to great is the attention to detail. And nothing completes a look like the right belt. You know what ruins a great outfit fast? A worn out belt that doesn't fit right. Most guys are still rocking belts with stretched out holes that either pinch your waist or sag and throw off the whole look. That's why I'm excited to partner with today's sponsor, Anson Belt & Buckle. This family-run company has been around since 2009 and they've completely reimagined how belts should work. Instead of holes, Anson Belt uses a micro-adjustable track system with quarter-inch increments. That means you get the perfect fit every single time. And once you feel that kind of comfort and precision, you'll never want to wear a traditional belt again. The best part, you can mix and match every buckle with any strap. One box set gives you 9 different belt combos, so you'll get to maximize versatility with way less clutter in your closet. But this isn't just about style, it's about feeling more comfortable, more confident, and more put together every time you get dressed. Anson Belt moves with you, so whether you're sitting, standing, or on the go, you're always comfortable and always looking sharp. I've been wearing mine nonstop, and honestly, it's the best belt I've ever owned. Once you try it, you will see exactly what I mean. You won't go back. And here's why you can trust them. They're still proudly family-owned. They've earned over 40,000 5-star reviews, and every belt is backed by a lifetime guarantee on functionality. They stand behind every product they make, and once you try one, you'll understand why. And because Anson Belt & Buckle is sponsoring today's video, when you click the link in the description or scan this QR code to build a box set, you'll get 2 bonus pieces, a buckle and a strap completely free. That's 3 buckles and 3 straps, which you can mix and match into 9 unique belt combos all in one box. It's an exclusive deal you won't get anywhere else, so click the link, build your set, and upgrade your belt game today.
Because like, why are you projecting? Why are you saying that these guys are going over to seas to date women who's stupid? Like, who just don't have agency and things like that. Like, these guys are going over there for different reasons. Some of them going for sex tourism, right? Some of them going just to buy for pussy. But a lot of those women over there are smarter than the niggas that's going over there. And they getting finessed. Like, a lot of those women are prostitutes. And a lot of those women is going to act, they acting like good girls and whatever to get, so to get the money out of those guys. But any man can go anywhere to date, to find women if he wanted to. I never thought about it. In mind, I never ever thought about it. I probably would have went to Africa. I don't went to South Africa. I heard the women over there is but beautiful. I'd have, went to South Sudan. I'd just probably tried it. But yeah, I don't understand the projection and trying to, like, if guys would think that the women, if they having a hard time over here, then go somewhere else. If you think if it ends up being easier for you to connect with women or to get compliance out of the woman over there, cool. The woman over here got money. They got first world problems. You might go and find a woman who I just want a man who can take care of me. Perfect, match made in heaven. You take care of her. All she want is for you to pay the bills. She'll clean up. She'll do all the this, that, and the third. She take care of the kids. No complaints. That's all she probably wanted her entire life. So her parents probably told her to look for is a man who can pay the bills. You can do that. Perfect. Y'all, like, why are we mad that niggas are going wherever they want to go? It's like it when women say it, I get it. It comes from an insecurity. You feel like you're not enough. You feel like men are telling you that you're not enough. So they're going somewhere else. So they're telling you that you're too much. But for a man to kind of think that way, I don't know. It's just a little gay. But yeah.
Are men who marry women overseas just looking for someone easier to control?
I don't know about that control shit. I don't think that's the reason why they looking for it or they doing it. I don't think it's for control. I just think they looking for something different. You know, there's nothing wrong with it. Look, I had an issue with it at first. Then I had to sit back and think and see and pay attention to what's going on. I said, I don't blame them. Interracial dating, I had an issue with that. You know what I'm saying? But seeing what our sons and our nephews and our little cousins, our younger brothers may have to deal with, some fellas are even at my age, they have to deal with, man, they want some more options. So why not put the numbers on your side? If that means you got to go out of the country to do it, then so be it, man. Look, I don't care. I have no problem with it, man. I used to give them shit, give them a hard time, like, what the fuck these losers doing? Too many beautiful women. But then I got to think, yeah, I just got lucky. And not everybody's getting lucky. Some dudes are running to a lot of goddamn frogs, man. And they tired of dealing with it. So they want to increase the numbers. They go out of the country, overseas, wherever they go to get it. Do what they do, man. I don't blame them, man. Stack the deck. Do what you got to do, man, to get the best what you want.
I'm coming to you, Willie. Do American women really treat men worse than foreign women do?
Yeah. In the West, they do. And I mean, there's not even an argument to be made against that. So absolutely they do, because they can get away with it.
Can I break that down a little bit more for the people?
It's simple. I mean, women in the West get away with murder. Only in the West can a woman tell a man what she's not gonna do, what he better do, and if he don't do it, she can take half his shit. Only in the West are the court systems skewed for women. Or only in the West are women allowed to have the same type of autonomy that they want to have as adults, but then in the same time are not held accountable or given the same responsibility or a level of accountability that as men are. So I mean, it's the West. Like it's just Western culture for that. Like we've empowered women to be, have all these rights and cool things they can do, but then they have no responsibility for them. Like, a lot of countries, the fact that women can vote and then also not be drafted should tell you everything you need to understand about women in the West.
I find myself agreeing with a lot of what the brother's saying, man. Look, if you want to go somewhere else, bro, and you think that's going to better your chances, by all means, go ahead. But going back to the mail order bride, I remember that from when I was young, older cats that I used to work with. And again, they wasn't brothers. You know what I'm saying? This is when I was living down south. And they literally would have, I knew ladies that were male, like maybe 5 that worked in the same place, right? This is when I lived down south. And they would be from Turkey and all other places. And it literally was a magazine, like a back page type deal. You'd go in and they'd have ads in there and you can literally get a wife out of the magazine. But people think nowadays, since it's in their algorithm, they think it's the only place that is happening, right? So now they target the passport bros, black dudes the only one doing it, blah, blah, blah. This is nothing new. It's not new at all. You know what I mean? It's just in your algorithm. And so now you think you got something to talk about. How you think all these, a lot of these foreign ladies got here just like that. You know what I mean? And it happens both ways. You got brothers that, go over in the military and start complete families overseas and then bring them back. So, I mean, it is what it is. Maybe if y'all wasn't as hostile to some of these brothers, you wouldn't have to worry about them going over to, Vietnam and all these other places and bringing home women that don't look like you. But that's
one of the oldest and most famous passport bro is my senator in my state, Mitch McConnell. Mitch McConnell's wife is a freaking mail order bride. He's a damn passport bro. So, look, these white boys been doing it for a long time. They've been doing it forever.
Melania.
So now, yes, so now these brothers are starting to get in and they're starting to get the passports and do the same thing. What's the deal? I just think some of the sisters don't like it because they got more competition that they really can't compete with. I think that's what it is.
Hank, why do you think they can't compete with them?
because they got bad attitudes. And when you got bad attitude, nobody wants to deal with that. Now you got some dudes that are turned on by a woman, got a little pushback, want to fight them and get into. But we know what those type of dudes are. We dealt with one on Sunday. His name is OTC. That's the type of dudes that like to be beat up on or push back and talk crazy to, and he's okay with it. He might like to be spanked for all we know. I know. I'm gonna stop. But we know dudes are like that, man. And so that's cool. Let them dudes deal with them trash ass women. Fellas want good, wholesome women who's about their business, who respects and understands what a man's purpose is, what it's all about. And unfortunately, it's not enough for them to choose from. So they got to go overseas to do it.
And these bad hoes cost real money in America now. They cost money. They cost real. Like, you go overseas, the bad hoes ain't this expensive.
Yeah, because the whole inflation hasn't hit over there yet. That's the difference.
I mean, they keep going over there, it's gonna hit, but
why would average men, why would average men not want to go to a place where their average is seen as above average and the women that they are looking for are significantly more desirable than the women who are telling them that they are average, that their average isn't good enough for, that they really don't have access to? Like, it's a no-brainer for those men. The problem that, and I don't understand how women have an issue with passport bros when the only men who are doing this are the 80% of niggas they don't even want no way. The top 20% of niggas are having their way in America, so we not going nowhere. We're not flying to the DR to get bitches, or we not going to Colombia to get the mail order brides. We get everything we want from women in America. So if that's the case, I have no idea why women are so mad about what the niggas they don't want are doing. That's almost as silly as a woman being mad about a gay nigga not wanting to date women. Like, that's not the man you want anyway. So why do you care what they're doing?
that's facts.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I agree with everything that y'all, pretty much saying with going overseas. I do go overseas for a good time with, women, but at the same time, it's more so, they smile at you, they willing to just hang out with you. Women in the West are transactional, just like women overseas. I'm paying a lot more to go out with you, to hang out with you, to take you places here than I'm gonna pay to just give you $250, $300 overseas, and I spend the day with you, that type of thing. So it all just depends on what you're looking for. But in terms of long term, I would rather have somebody from the West just because they understand my culture, all of those things. But in terms of a good time, yeah, I'll go overseas for a good time.
It's like why do people buy they liquor before they come back into the States? Duty free, right?
Free.
You know
Duty free, big dog.
It's duty free. Getting duty free prices when you go over there, baby. So, same deal.
All right. Go ahead, M. White.
Yeah, I agree with Shells and Law, and I think everybody who said that they who you want, you just don't gotta attack black women on your way out. That's pretty much it. It makes sense to go where you're gonna be appreciated. I wouldn't expect nobody to sit around and be looked down on or not dated or not just looked at like they had any marketing in the dating pool. That's a rough place to be in. So I would assume they would do what's best for them. I don't got no issue with it whatsoever.
But why can't people speak on their experience? Like, if a woman was like, yo, black men are this, that, and the third. Like, I can't do it. Or I've dated black men all my life, and I've just been running into this, that, and the third. I would not be upset with her. I would say, you know what, I have compassion for you because there's a lot of us that aren't like that, and I feel sorry that you had to go through that. Maybe you've made the wrong choices. Maybe you don't know how to vet. But I would never be like, well, bitch, you don't got to say shit about us. Like, I'm never going to be on no time like that. So
why would it? So once you decide that you no longer dating American women, what's the point in discussing them at this point? You didn't say they not for me. So
because
why
people ask you to. People say, why if they see a black guy with a white woman, they say, why you with a white woman? It may not be everybody, but a lot of people think that way. So when you are constantly criticizing people for the choices they make in dating, and then when he tells you, well, I don't date black women because y'all, not you, but women act like that's an attack on them when he's just characterizing the behavior of black women that has turned him off from dating them. Like
So
anytime you criticize black people, it's almost like you're putting your hands on them.
So let me ask you this. Most of the time, because that's a fairly reasonable explanation. If somebody asks you why you're not dating them, then yeah, I would understand that. But most of the time, especially like around the space, do these be unprompted questions, or do somebody be like, so why don't you XYZ?
It's in the conversation. Like anytime passport bros have a conversation, the why they became a passport bro is going to be pertinent and relevant information in that conversation. And a derivative of that conversation is always going to be, well, what did you not like about American women or Western women that brought you over here? If it's a black guy, and we typically, we've seen the statistics prove that we're fiercely loyal to black women. If it's a black guy, and knowing that we prefer black women as our first choice, if you ask that man why he's not dating them, he's going to have to explain because they're combative. They be crying in the comments all the time. You know, they glorify all this other all the things you hear those guys saying. And then the fact that it's not just like one group of passport bros, or like it's all of them say the same thing. They're not all going to be lying, bro, because they're talking from their experiences.
But also, let's say that nobody asked. Let's say it's unprompted, right? And we just, and not even, I don't do it, but I got a woman. But let's say it's unprompted, and those guys are frustrated, and they're just like, yo, I want to vent. I want to say how I feel, and maybe I don't even want to have to go over here. You know, maybe I really do want to date the women that I have here, but I'm so frustrated. I'm talking about it. What's wrong with that? They're expressing themselves. Like I don't understand.
Wait, real dope. Aren't you the same person that be like, I'm sick of this victim mentality? Don't you always talk about the victim mentality?
But no, this is completely different. This is completely different. Like a victim mentality is you always somebody's holding you down and keeping you from doing something. A passport bro, by virtue of leaving the country and going to find a woman, they're not a victim. They're doing something about their circumstance, right? They're taking an action. Y'all niggas don't go and move to Africa. Y'all stay here and y'all complain. Like y'all be like, oh, the white go to Africa. Like go be happy and like, you know, get a hut and all that. But yeah, they being actionable. They actually taking a step, so it's a little different.
Let me ask y'all this question. If American men are the most accommodating to women, does that make them weak or disrespectful?
Does it make them what?
Weak or disrespectful?
Weak.
Yeah, if you're accommodating to someone who, you know, generally mistreats you, doesn't respect you, and doesn't view you as anything outside of your utility, and you accommodate them, I mean, I wouldn't say it makes you weak. I'd say it makes you a fool. But since that wasn't an option, you know, fool is not too far from weak to me.
All right, let's go ahead and get Trev's take on this. Go ahead, Trev.
So I was kind of with Hank on it initially, where I didn't really know much about it. I couldn't understand why cats were like, damn, why the hell you driving or flying thousands of miles away chasing behind a female or whatever. But you know, I was intrigued by it, so I did some investigations and, you know, talked to a lot of people who were doing it. She went to a couple countries to see like what the cultures are in real life. And what I found was that the women, they just have a different type of energy, period. You know how like you go from state to state, you're like, okay, down to ATL, they're this way. Go up in New York, they're this way. When you go overseas, it's like a different world.
No, I got it.
There's a lot of dudes who leave altogether, you know, expats, just because you can get a house, like a banging house, in some places for 50 to 100,000, 4 or 5 bedroom, right? It's a completely different lifestyle. Food cheaper. People don't hold up the walls in the club. Like it's just a different atmosphere. And another thing that I understood was a lot of men, like Willie talked about, they're not getting that burn. If 80% of us are invisible, what do you expect them to do? You got to go where you're appreciated. And that's what men are doing. They're seeing opportunity to at least explore. And then when you go there and you might just be average, but you're actually loved, admired, and respected, when you go somewhere else, then naturally you're going to be attracted to that because you've never felt that type of treatment before. And to be honest, you don't think that if women from the West had the opportunity to just go run into rich dudes or dudes with status or dudes that was all 7 feet or whatever the hell they looking for, you don't think that women would jump on the first plane and do that? If they flying over to Dubai to get defecated on, then
porta potties
for a couple okay, couple yeah, couple for a couple dollars, you think they wouldn't go over there to change their lifestyle? Of course they would. But the problem is that men elsewhere are not checking for women of the West, not for long term, right? They might party them because, you know, they might feel like they doing a bit more sexually than the women that some countries have available. But for long term, they're not doing that. They're not checking for them. So that's what it is. And I do agree that we probably shouldn't, you know, come back and just trample all over the women because of our experiences. But in a way, I think that some females do need a wake-up call. I think they should understand that there's competition out there. I think they should understand that in some instances, these women are an actual threat. If you were complaining about there's no good men out here and you're not willing to compete and you're not willing to treat these men well, what you think is going to happen? Y'all eventually going to run out of men. This is just the first alternative. Wait till you see what's next.
What do people tell the WNBA to do to get more viewership?
Lower the rim.
Lower the rim, right? Them niggas ain't got no money over there. So you should go over there when they niggas ain't got no money and you got a little bit of money and your money go a long way over there. You lower the fucking rim. You get a smaller ball. Like they going over there, they lowering the rim. It's easier over there. Like I ain't mad at them.
I think it's my bad. I don't know. My camera went off. I'm sorry. Oh, my camera just cut off. Anyway, I think it's wild that people like women are kind of not paying us attention because now that the laws have changed, that if a guy goes and gets a wife over there, a passport, you know, he goes and brings his girl back. A lot of times what happens is they'll play him while they're over there, get back here, and then leave him for somebody else. Now that he has to be the one to sponsor her visa. Once the relationship ends, he can revoke her visa and then she can be deported. So now the passport wives don't have that tool in their bag. So the ones to get over here are being forced to actually behave and, you know, keep up that same energy they had when they were over there. So it's only going to get worse for the worst women, for women over here now that that's a thing.
Well, Willie, you don't think that's kind of crazy?
No, hell no. I think you absolutely should have. If I sponsor a foreign exchange student and that motherfucker becomes a serial killer, I absolutely think that I should be able to, revoke my sponsorship and have Buddy deported. I've said same thing about the women because all they're doing is coming over here on that westernized shit, getting with a dude and trying to take what he got. So
would you want to be married to a woman you got to hold hostage though? That's what I'm saying.
No, that's a separate conversation. I don't want to be married to. I would never in my life go to a third world country and bring a motherfucker back. And that's just not me. But again, I'm not in the demographic of men that has to do that. So it'll never happen. But I don't want a motherfucker. I don't want a woman that I have to convince to even like me, let alone that I'm holding hostage. That shit is weird.
That's my point. That's what I just said.
And White, if your kid had a boyfriend and they came and lived with you, and then they broke up, would you still let him live there?
No, you gotta go.
So go back to your country.
Right, I get that, but my point was, it's like people utilize it as a tool to maintain a relationship. To me, that feel.
Oh yeah, that's goofy.
Yeah, that was my whole point.
But also, I think
even if they're using it, it's still to them. The weirdo niggas wanting to do it. They're gonna do it because the option of not doing it is dealing with these westernized trash women they can't get anyway.
Oh, did y'all see that show 90 Day Fiance?
Yeah.
I ain't see it.
You seen that older white lady and the Nigerian dude, I think his name Usman.
Yep.
Usman?
Yeah.
Like the fighter?
Nah, he wasn't fighting.
Oh.
No, it's same last name, Mont.
Okay.
So she pretty much was doing this, and I was sitting there shaking my head the whole time. She was holding the passport for him over his head and just acting a fool, like cursing the man out, throwing stuff. Then she went and got this is an older white lady. Like she was just treating Buddy ass. And I'm like, this shit's so foul. She literally just taking event. Like I don't know if y'all seen them. The relationships be crazy. It'd be like the people low key be getting like treated, but they being held hostage kind of by whoever got the, you know what I'm saying? This the
So
y'all seen ain't nobody seen the show.
Nah, I get what you're saying, but dig it. Like if homeboy got into a situation like that, and what you think for? You don't think it was something like predatory? You don't think so? You think he just went up there just because he really fell in love with this old lady? I mean, it's possible, but not probable. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think that he was on some bullshit. Just like a lot of these women, they be on some bullshit. And if you go ahead and do that bait and switch or let me meet your representative, then yeah, get your ass on up out of here. Go back. Go deal with that other shit. Like, because if we saying that you holding them hostage, that's saying that we have the idea that most men are going to be predators and we're just going to hold women captive and force our will upon them and all of that. But in reality, if that was the case, why you can't do that over here and just get you a woman and force your will upon her? It's not really, dudes ain't really trying to do that. All they're trying to do is have somebody who's going to be more feminine, somebody who's going to treat them like the man that they feel they deserve to be treated like. And if you think you about to come over here and do some bait and switch, then they put a stop to that bullshit. Because there was a lot of women that were absolutely finessing these dudes, and that's going to put a stop to that. So in them knowing that ahead of time, then they just have to understand that you're going to have to keep that same energy that you dug in with. You can't switch up on me and think you just going to keep getting your shit off, because it happens to a lot of dudes. They'll come over here, they'll marry them, and then try to use the Western system to divorce them and take half their shit. And you ain't earned that. That could be my family's legacy. You trying to snatch up out my hands, man. Damn you. So, I mean, is that part of it? And you just have to understand the situation, go into it knowingly. You have to be responsible about that.
Another thing y'all got to remember, too, is that ain't nobody going to hold these chicks hostage now. Like, there's no point. Because, shit, why am I hold you hostage when I can kick your ass out? I can say revoke your passport and then go to have ICE to order tell you it's DoorDash at the door, and it's 2 ICE agents getting ready to pick your ass up. But then, like when you were talking about bro on having his passport being held, that's what the pimps do to sex workers overseas, like in Bahrain, because prostitution is legal in some places. So what they do is they take the girls' passports and say, hey, you got to earn 20,000 BD, which is say $20,000 to get your passport so you can leave. The thing is, the price of pussy over there is literally 40 BD. It's $106. Is what it converts to. So you know how much work they got to put in to make 20 grand? And I'm talking about it's got to be 20 grand on top of what the basically it's 80 grand because they're only keeping 20% of their money. So they got to go make $80,000 to get their passport back. A lot of the times, them girls' passports are expiring before they can even make it halfway up the ladder. So it could be like that. That could be worse. But now you're just saying that the guys that don't want to marry women in the West because they don't have a chance to with the top the women they want. They go over there, get him a girl, bring him back. She act cool for 3 years. Great. Now he got a lease. He can just send her ass back over there and call it a day.
Yeah, I seen that passport thing when I was living in Lebanon. I seen that.
Lebanon's tough. Like Lebanon is crazy.
Yeah. One of the ladies actually committed self deletion.
What?
Based off them withholding.
Like Buddy in the chat just said, perfect example of the switch up is what Jenny Mae did to Jeezy. Perfect example of the switch up, except she's from here. Trust me, if she was a mail order bride, he'd have put her on the first boat floating. Like, I don't feel bad for it. I don't feel bad for the men that have to do this, and I don't feel bad for the women that can't get men because the men they want don't want them because of their choices either. So I feel like it's a wash now.
All right.
Y'all see that comment up there?
Oh, hold on. Put it back up there. Pause.
But you funny.
I don't know what y'all might be thinking, man.
Nah. It said that they saw a passport due once and they had to pay for the whole family, including the grandparents. That's optional. There are sometimes the expectation of you doing that, but I know some dudes who establish that shit off the door, like out the door, like, nah, we're not doing that. Just so you know, I'm not doing that. And they have the opportunity to accept that or not. It won't always be like that, but yeah, there's certain instances where they will expect you to definitely put down. And they'll do that. They say, hey, we broke, hey, we poured it. And that's because that's how their culture is in a lot of these different spaces. They are much more close-knit families. They live with their parents, grandparents. You'll see 3, 4, 5 generations sometimes, depending on what country you go to. And there is that nursing home shit is not a thing. They'll go ahead and they'll be taking care of them financially and everything. But that's just their culture. So if you got it, then you give it. It's not because, okay, yeah, we just gonna get this dog. Whoever has it, once they know you got it, then yeah, it could be one of their own family members that's doing well. It'd be the same damn thing.
Listen, if I take care of the whole family, if they in one of them little cheap countries, I take care of the whole family. Whenever I come around, everybody love me. Like, yeah, I take care of grandma.
You can get her sisters too.
Yeah, I'm taking care of everybody. I'm taking care of everybody.
That's gonna be a weird. That's gonna be a weird family. Got time for that? Yeah, it's gonna be like the difference is, man, with those women, you get to pay up front. With westernized women, they want you to pay. I'm saying they want a payment plan. They want you to put them on some sort of like monthly stipend or allotment. So I mean, again, at the end of the day, the only difference is just that the hoflation that Americans have incorporated into their daily, like just standard culture, hasn't hit these countries yet because those women don't have men that can afford it.